Hello, everyone. A very good morning to all our TMS dealers. Okay, so welcome to our HOBOnet Indoor and Outdoor Virus Monitoring System webinar. Okay, so this is considered our product launching. We're not yet open to public, so we specialize first. We open for our lovely dealers first. Okay, so this is the session. So we have an intro, and then we will explain the product, the features, and we have a demo session also. So along the webinar, so if you have any questions, so you can actually drop your message in the chat box, so I will jot down first, okay? So just in case, it's a lupa in the middle, okay? So I not yet introduced myself also. I'm Eric from TMS as a host for this morning session. So we will have actually two sessions. The first session is a general intro, and then second session is about our HOBOnet and a demo. Okay, and actually three sessions. And the last session will be a Q&A. Okay, so before I pass the mic to our first speaker, I need to introduce him first. You all know he is our GM, Joseph. So Joseph will introduce the general regarding overview of the data loggers and why we need to, why we need to try to use virus or use the remote system. Okay, so I pass my time to Joseph.
Okay, hi everyone. Very good morning. Thanks for joining this talk. Can you hear my voice clear? Is that okay?
Yeah, loud and clear.
Yeah, that's good. Thank you. Right. So I'm very happy to share with you. I'm actually very excited about today product launching. We have been waiting for HOBOnet for almost, I think, probably 6 months to a year. All right. So it actually launched in US like middle of last year. And then we actually bring in one system, and then we go for MCMC approved. We go for the test in Syrian. And then finally, early this year, we got the MCMC approved, and we are set to launch this product. We call it HOBOnet. Right. Without further ado, let me do an overview of the data loggers and to set the stage for our speaker later, Amila, to introduce to you the HOBOnet system. This is a very, very versatile and very powerful systems. Right. So I will start with introducing data loggers, types of data loggers available in the market, and also from TMS. I will also talk about the virus remote monitoring system that are available in the market, what is their limitations, and how HOBOnet can fill up that niche market, and also to address all these limitations, right? So I think everyone know what is data loggers. It is a very common name, but let me try to define it. Okay, basically, data loggers is basically a device that measure and collect data. It can be temperature, humidity, rain gauge, wind directions, wind speed, lightning count. You can name it. There is a device to measure and collect data. Okay, it's basically be able to be programmed, which means you tell the device how long it has to record the data. And then after you deploy the data loggers, you can be able to retrieve that data via a computer. So that is the general definition for data logger. So which means data logger can be as simple as a standalone logging system. It can also be as complicated as a weather station. So weather station is also a kind of data loggers, all right, in our context. So as a business entities and also resellers, I think you need to have one product that you can carry and then distribute it to any markets that you are covering. So data loggers are one of those products which is serving large, I call it mass market. So if you go to the agriculture, you will have customer there. If you go to the buildings, construction, you will have customers. You go to lab, you will have customers. You go to industry, you will find customer as well. So, so basically, you can employ data logger, deploy data loggers in those like environmental condition monitoring, like temperature, humidity, and etc. You can also use it for, people call it occupants comfort complaint, to address those issues by having a data loggers in place to monitor the how comfort is your space. You can also use it for the HVAC, refrigeration, air conditioning monitoring, and etc. That is for indoor applications. Outdoor applications are typically used by research scientists or ecologists or hydrologists, where they use it to monitor soil moisture, air, weather, wind, and etc. So I think all of you already know that. So let me continue. So TMS has been in data logger business since day one. Okay, we started distributing data loggers since 2000. Right, 2000. Not many people know about data loggers. That time is announced. I think that is the era where you have Microsoft 365. All right, it's a very, if I'm not mistaken, 365 or 384, I forgot. All right, it's a very old. Those 2000 is around the time that people get to know about computer in Malaysia, not in US, of course. So that time, 2000, we already started to, selling data loggers. We are trying to convince customers they are using, we call it the, how you call this, a chart recorder. You can see here, it's basically a paper chart recorder. So we are introducing loggers to those customers to replace the chart recorder with a digital computerized loggings. We call it data loggers. Right? That time is the 8 bits loggers, which is very, very small in today's standards. We can only record 2000 data. Those days is considered, very powerful, but only 2000. Then we move on from 8 bits to 16 bits to 64 bits. And nowadays, our loggers can measure up to at least 64,000 or up to 1 million data, right? It could be 16 megabytes of data. So, and a lot more functions. So we can see the evolutions of these data loggers. So when we talk about data loggers, in most people's mind, this is what it looks like. Basically a device, which is a logger, where you need to connect to your computer, and from the computer software, you tell the loggers, you program and configure the loggers, how long you take one measurement. After that, you unplug from your cables and you start to secure in the place where you want to measure the data. Example, in the room, in a open field, etc. So after certain period of deployment of the data loggers, collect data, you will bring it back to your lab and then connect back with your cables, and from the software, you retrieve those informations and you run analysis, and then of course you can publish your data. Of course, certain loggers can give you, maximum, minimum, and when it reaches a maximum temperature or lower temperature, it will give you alert. Okay, so all these are what we have in mind for data loggers. But nowadays, the technology has been evolving and actually improving a lot. So what I just tell you is basically we call it the USB logger. So now we also have a Bluetooth loggers. We also have wireless sensors loggers and also web-based loggers. I will go into this, evolution later. Okay, so let me go through some of the things when we need to consider when we choose the data loggers. I think this is very important. When you, educate or, guide your customers to select the best loggers, you need to have these 5 things. Okay, this is normally I tell my customers, 5 things that we need to take notes when we select a data loggers, be it a Bluetooth, wireless. These 5 things are very crucial. First, to know the accuracy that you require. Okay, so of course, if you want to measure ambient temperature, you do not need to have 0.02 or 0.01 accuracy, right? So you have to fit for purpose. So you need to know roughly your accuracy that you require. So then you select the right loggers. That's number one. Number two, you have to know, you have to anticipate your data access needs. Data access needs means that, how willing are you, or how, sometimes I say, how lazy are you, to retrieve the data? Because some system, it will actually use up the space, the memory within a week or few weeks. So every week you have, or every day, you have to connect to your computer and access the data. That is a waste of time. So that's why you also need to, anticipate what is the data access needs that you have. Sometimes people are willing to have some loggers that are easily retrieve the data. It can be through Bluetooth, to internet, or through, a cloud system. So nowadays we have all these options of convenience of retrieving our data, which means beside the workplace, you can actually retrieve the data any place, anytime. All right. So this is important as well. You need to consider that. All right. Number three, look for time-saving features. That is important as well. Like what I say, how often you have to go and attend to your device. That's important. So let's say your device, the need to recharge, all right, for every 2 weeks. So that is very time-consuming. Another option, another situation is maybe, it actually needs a lot of configurations. One, you put in one additional sensor, you need to spend an hour, to configure. The software is difficult to handle and those things. So that is time consuming. So it will be best if the loggers is what we call plug and play. So when it's plugged in, it will recognize the sensor, it will run. All right, or there's a button to push to start recording. So all these features you need to take into consideration, because that will save a lot of their time. All right, there's number three. Number four, don't overlook the software, because the software is the interface, a user interface that you deal with. So you need to have a software that are user friendly. Nowadays, we are very particular about this user, interface, because we have used our smartphones. It's so convenient. So the software has to be as convenient as your smartphone, right? It can be used in smartphone, it can be used in a desktop, it can be used in Macintosh, it can be used in Microsoft. So it has to be able to go to multiple platforms. It has to be able to have, a dashboard that you can see and monitor and download PDF, Excel, and etc. So this is important. You make sure you select the proper software. Number five, you have to consider the power requirement. Sometimes customers overlook this, and we have to consult them. Okay, what it means by power requirement. Certain loggers you need to, the only way is to by having a socket to plug to power it. So that is not flexible, because you cannot bring it to the open field. You bring it to outdoor, because you have to always plug it into power source. Okay, that's number one. Number two, sometimes certain loggers has a built-in battery that you cannot change yourself. Okay, and that battery is very, very rare. You can't get it from the normal shops, so you have to buy it from maybe portal like RS Component or etc. So that is very troublesome for customers. So it will be best if they are using like AA battery, AAA battery, and it can last long. That will be the best demand situation. So these five things you need to take into consideration when you choose a data loggers. Let's continue. Okay, I mentioned this evolution. I'll go into one by one, and then I'll bring you to the stage that to the HOBOnet, right? So that is my plan for today, right? So let's go into the basic systems. We are still offering the user USB or the cable loggers, because it has obvious benefits. Of course, there's also some obvious limitation. All right, let's start with the cable loggers. Cable loggers means you have to plug in to an interface, or you plug in your cable to a computer to program, and also when you want to retrieve data, you have to plug in again. So this is what we call USB or cable loggers. So the obvious benefit for these systems is price advantage. So it's it's really affordable, and you can use it in large quantity in every corner. So if you want to measure your, the freezer performance, or during transportation, you can see here EBI 300 is the one that normally we use for transportation. Basically USB, the customer do not need to have software pre-download into the computer. So basically, you just need to, of course, you have to start by plugging into your computer to program it. Then you unplug, and then put into lorry or truck, then go send to your customer place. When you reach the customer place, the customer just need to plug in using this same logger USB port, plug into the computer. They do not need a software. They can automatically download the data in a PDF form or in a Excel form, right? So it's very convenient. Of course, there's less features, very convenient, and also less features and affordable. Of course, the limitation is you have to plug in to control, to program and retrieve. Okay, so we also have another type of USB on cable loggers, where we call it the EBI 10, 11, 12, where this is for high temperature. So certain applications, we still need to use USB cable loggers. Example like this application, where the loggers is built in stainless steel materials. It can withstand high temperature up to 150 degrees C. We normally use these loggers to do thermal validation for retort, thermal mapping for warehouse. So it comply to pharmaceutical regulations, CFR, FDA, and etc. So we have this for thermal validation services. So if you are interested in this, do contact us. We can always work together with you. Okay. First technology now evolved to the Bluetooth technology. So I think everyone know Bluetooth, but this is not ordinary Bluetooth. This is Bluetooth 4.0, which is, we call it Bluetooth low energy technology, where you can actually, you would not drain off your battery. Okay, so this logger it can be standalone. Let me explain this how it's standalone. So you do not need to buy the software. The software is basically an app. Yeah, it's in your handphone. So you basically program these loggers through Bluetooth, no cable, no USB, right? Through Bluetooth, you communicate with the logger, program it, and then you deploy it in the room, example. After some time, then you do not even need to collect it back and then plug into the computer. No, because what you need is, you just need to use, again, your smartphone, open up your Bluetooth and communicate with the loggers, and you can download the data wirelessly through Bluetooth, connections, right? So it's very convenient. You can see here, typically range is 100 feet. 100 feet is basically 30 meters. Of course, there's no blockage, is 30 meters. If there is a blockage, building, trees, then maybe shorter than that. Okay, so we have multiple types of sensors for Bluetooth loggers. The most common one is MX1101. We also have CX. We also have or what I call that water level, okay, with Bluetooth. So this is very important, because when you want to measure water level, you don't want to jump into the river and then collect data, right? So you want to stand in there and then retrieve the data via wirelessly through Bluetooth. So that is so convenient. So we have lots of sensors with Bluetooth. Do check with us, including the environmental, like pH and etc. Right? So just now I mentioned about Bluetooth standalone, but the good things about this, if you have more than one or more than five, you said, can I connect all five and then retrieve all this data into one space and also into a cloud system? The answer is yes. So you can start by buying a standalone Bluetooth. And after you have more than one or more than 5, you can just get another, what we call a gateway. A gateway basically a router, but it's a special router with a Bluetooth capacity. So it will communicate with different Bluetooth loggers, and then all the data will be sent into this gateway, and the gateway will push the data into the cloud, which is the HOBOlink. Okay, so which means the convenience here is that you can save a lot of costs. You can start with one standalone, then after you deploy more, you can eventually set up it as a system, wireless system through a gateway. It's so convenient. You can access it using a desktop, and you can also access it using a handphone. It's called HOBOnet. HOBOconnect. Do try it out if you have, and do let my team know if your customers are interested to try this out. We do have demo units. We can actually go to your customer place to show it to them. So again, the benefit of having Bluetooth is easy access, because Bluetooth using a smartphone. Number 2, is less expensive. Number 3, it is flexible. You can do it standalone. You can make it a system by having a gateway. Number 4, of course, you have a very powerful software cloud system that you can access anytime, any place. All right. The limitation is obvious. It has to be less than 100 feet. Okay, so which means they have a room or freezer, then you can do it. Okay, if you have downstairs, you have another room with freezers, then you have to have another set. Okay, so you can't use the same gateway, you can use the same group. You cannot retrieve the data from this floor for the logger that you have in the ground floor. Right, so that is the limitation. Right, so this is what I call the systems that people set up for their lab using a Bluetooth, and then send the data will send Bluetooth to the gateway, and gateway push to the cloud system. Right, it's very convenient. Now let's go to the third generations. We call it wireless sensors logger. Why we call it wireless sensors? Because the loggers and the computers are connected wirelessly, no wire, right? But the data that receive is stored locally in a centralized data collections, which means it can be a computer hardware, or it can be a customer server. All right. So if customers want to push this data from the computer to their server, is possible, but this is not a cloud system. All right. So we have this system installed in multiple places where this is using a radio frequency. It's not using Bluetooth. The frequency is 922.4 megahertz. It's also MCMC approved. So the benefit of these wireless sensors loggers is they are mostly used in pharmaceutical industries and logistics, where you can use this to monitor the whole warehouse, right? So you can measure temperature from -80 ultra low freezer to ambient temperature. You can also measure humidity. So it's very powerful. But the only limitation for this system is they are not cloud system, but it's fit for purpose for the pharmaceutical, because maybe the data is they are very particular about the data, so they want the data to keep in their server or in their computer. So if you have this type of customers, do reach out to us. We also can do a demo for them, right? So that is this is the real deployment photos in hospitals, in a warehouse. Basically, we measure the data and then send through to their receiver. You can see on the right hand that is with like antenna, and then connect to the interface and then to the computer. And they will keep the data in the computer or in their personal private the company server, right? It's not sent to the cloud. So this is what we call wireless sensor loggers. Now, then we move on to web-based logger. Web-based loggers is we have these loggers, I think maybe already maybe 6 or 8 years, all right, where you have like a weather station, you have multiple sensors connect to we call it loggers, which is by cable, and these loggers can send the data to there's two ways of sending the data, is either by Wi-Fi or by SIM card, right? So we will send to the cloud, and then which means regardless of your location, you can access the data as long as you have the password and the login number, right? So that is the convenience we want when we talk about wireless. So this is what we call a cloud system. But yet, this system is still, the sensors to the logger is still cable. We can have like 15 channel, but the good thing is from the loggers to the cloud, okay, is wirelessly by SIM card, okay? So that it has limitation here. That brings us to, you know, I sum up the limitation we are having so far for all these technologies. Of course, they have their how you say, they can serve certain niche market where that is the things that they need for that particular applications. But there is these 5 limitations. Number one, all these wireless loggers that I mentioned so far, they have a limitation in terms of distance. It could be up to maybe 300 or less, okay? It could be like 100 feet or 100 meters. That's all. You can't go more than that. Let's say if you are a building of 3 floors, you have to buy 3 set of loggers wireless, which means each floor 1 set of loggers. So you have difficulties to consolidate the data, so, and very expensive. So sometimes you have problem of weak signal, and sometimes you have issues of loss of data. Okay, certain wireless loggers, they have limited memories in their loggers. Example, one of the loggers from another brand, they have a very small memory in their loggers. So which means the data they collect in the log has to be continuously sent to the cloud system. If there's a cutoff of electricity, the cutoff of the signals, they will lose the data in their loggers. I hope you can imagine, right? Example, these loggers can only accommodate 4,000 data. So 4,001 data will overwrite the first data that they collect, which means they will only collect 4,000 data points. More than that, you will be lost, all right? Because let's say the wireless is cut off, there's weak signals, there's no electricity, so the data will be lost forever. This is what the researchers do not want. They want to have continuous. So loss of data is one of the concerns. Okay, number 3, limited number of sensors. Normally, you know, like what I said just now, maybe 15 channel, that's its maximum. If you want to have more, you buy another set. So sometimes this is very, it's not practical for certain applications that you need more than 10, right, sensors, right? Number 4, expensive to deploy in large quantity, like what I say, right? Number 4. Number 5, the software and the cloud computing system is also very important, right? Certain, like what I say, you can only access the data in certain locations, so that is not convenient, right? Sometimes. So that brings us to the HOBOnet. So I'm really excited about this product. You know, people around me know that. You know, I've been talking to so many people. I believe this is the answer for all those limitations that we faced before this, and these are the most versatile wireless systems or cloud-based wireless system in the market. I can declare that because later Amila will show you the features. So it's very powerful. I'm very happy to introduce to you HOBOnet. The HOBOnet is a general name for three models that we have in place, right? So the first is the Micro RX2106. Is we call it micro, means that the smaller size, more affordable for outdoor with a solar panel built in, right? The wireless system. Number two is the Micro RX2105, which is the indoor. The difference is there is no solar panel, right? The indoors, you do not need a solar panel. And lastly is our most powerful and most premium range of HOBOnet systems. Is called RX3000. Sorry, my mistake. 3000, no one, right? 3000 RX3000. Why is so powerful? Because you can do a lot of customization. You can do relay output. Example, relay output is you want to, trigger a silent or trigger the pump to do irrigations. You can do that by using RX3000. So it's so powerful and so, versatile that you can serve every customers using this system, right? So that's why I'm really pumped up, and then I really excited to share with you this solution so that you can share it with your customers and give them alternative, better solutions for their applications, right? So okay, so these are some of the picture of the logos, all right? And do feel free to go into OnSet computer website and configure your system. You can add in multiple sensors, and then it will come up as a package assistant for you, right? So otherwise, you can also reach out to our staff, and we will help you to, to configure the right system for you, so that you can offer to your customers, right? So I think I will end my my presentation here. Basically, I want to bring you to a stage that HOBOnet is the answer that we are looking for in the markets. So it will actually change the market, because this is the most powerful wireless system, that I can bring this so far, right? So thanks. I'll pass the time back to Eric.
Thank you, Joseph. Wow, very detailed overview. So as you see, like our handphone from very small to big to small, and then to button to touchscreen. So same to our data logger. So from paper to digital, now to wireless. So honestly, I didn't experience, or I didn't use any paper data logger before okay, so it's very antique. Okay, so now it's come to our second session. It's by Amila. So Amila already in this data logger and field more than 10 years. So she's very experienced with all types of data logger, especially for this HOBOnet. Okay, so Amila will explain in details the features and the function, the HOBOnet, and for the indoor and for the outdoor, and also the demo session. So I pass the time to Amila.
Okay, thank you, Eric. So, hi everyone. Assalamualaikum and very good morning. So my name is Amila. So today I'll present to you about our new product called HOBOnet wireless system. So previously Joseph have already explained about the data logger. So you can see the evolution from a USB logger and then to the Bluetooth logger and to the wireless, and next to the web-based system. So for the HOBOnet system, actually is a combination of the wireless and the web-based system. So through HOBOnet system, you can actually is a remote monitoring system where you can access the data anywhere, because it's using a cloud system. And then secondly, from the logger to the sensor is completely wireless. So there are no running cables between the logger and also the sensor. So introduction of HOBOnet system. So HOBOnet is a cost-effective, scalable, web-enabled solution to monitor for outdoor monitoring, which is for field condition for applications such as the crop management, for field research and the greenhouse operation. And then it also can be used for indoor conditions such as the warehouses, the cold storage facilities, data center, museum, residential building, and more. So you can actually monitor all these points without the hassle of running cable. So it is completely wireless. Okay, so for this HOBOnet system, it's very easy. It's a cost-effective rugged monitoring solution. It's actually this HOBOnet wireless sensor will communicate with the data logger via radio frequency. So it's a 921 megahertz. So we already get the approval from CRIM. So it's a MCMC certified. It's safe to use in Malaysia. Okay, and then the range between the logger and the sensor is about 450 to 600 meter per sensor. And you can just add on a repeater if you have a more distance. So for one station, you can hope for 5 repeater. So basically 600 times 5 repeater, you can go as far as 3,000 meters, around 3 kilometers. Okay. Next, up to 50 wireless sensor per RX data logger series. And each HOBOnet sensor have their onboard memory. So there's to ensure there's no data loss. So it's a 60 MB, about 1 million measurement. And it has a wide sensor variable, which is example, the temperature, the humidity, the moisture, rainfall, and etc. And then it uses the HOBOlink as the cloud-based platform where customer can access the data from anywhere at any time. So through HOBOlink, customer can also set up the SMS or email alert, do a data scheduling, do a configuration, create a dashboard, and etc. So this is just a brief overview. So I will go more details one by one later. So before that, I'll share one video so that you have an idea what is this HOBOnet system.
From farms to greenhouses to forests and vineyards, data drives better understanding and better decision making. With meaningful, accessible data, you can help protect your crops from climate hazards like frost or dry soil, minimize the use of water and the application of pesticides and fungicides, or improve the quality of your crops. Onset's HOBOnet field monitoring system will transform the way you collect and view data. With up to 50 wireless sensors streaming data back to a central cloud-based weather station, you can monitor all your critical locations without having to run cables or visit the site. At the heart of the system is Onset's field-proven HOBO RX3000 weather station, known across many industries for its easy setup, robust design, and research-grade accuracy. Our wireless sensors cover a range of outdoor measurements, including temperature, humidity, rain, wind, soil moisture, evapotranspiration, and more. These compact sensors can be placed anywhere you need them, up to 1,500 feet apart. They use intelligent mesh networking to route data through surrounding sensors for the most reliable communication path. The sensors are easy to install with several mounting options, and they include a built-in solar panel for battery charging. You simply connect the sensor to the network with the press of a button and use the signal strength icon to position it for the best possible connection. More powerful than ever, Onset's cloud-based HOBOlink software has been enhanced to make your field monitoring data more meaningful and more accessible. The HOBOlink dashboard enables instant visualization of your current and historical data and can be customized to your specific needs with the dashboard builder and our library of widgets. And you can set up an email or text alarm so you are immediately notified of critical conditions, such as frost or low soil moisture. The Map View feature gives you a view of current conditions over your entire monitoring area, and exporting data or scheduling data deliveries to other programs is a snap. With the HOBOnet field monitoring system, you can measure conditions over large areas, once considered too costly or impractical to monitor. Now, with near real-time information and a wider coverage area, you can protect your crop, optimize crop management, and gain better data and more insights than ever before. Contact Onset today to learn how you can benefit from this powerful wireless field monitoring.
So I hope everyone has a better idea what is the HOBOnet system. So basically, you will need a data logger. So this data logger actually comes in 2-in-1, which you can also plug and play the smart sensor from onset, and also can be connected to the HOBOnet wireless sensor. So basically you have this called HOBOnet manager, which will act as the receiver. Then this receiver can be connected up to 50 HOBOnet wireless sensors. Okay, so for HOBOnet RX station, we have the RX micro station, which is the RX 2105 and RX 2106. So for 2105 is actually battery powered, so it's suitable for indoor monitoring and it's using SIM card to connect to the cloud-based system. Whereas for the 2106 is a solar powered, so it's suitable for the outdoor monitoring and also using SIM card for the cloud system. And then we also have the RX station, which is more flexible and where you can do more customization. So for RX 3000, it's actually a standalone data logger. So you need to add on this called RX manager as the receiver. Then you can connect to the HOBOnet wireless sensor. So for outdoor monitoring, RX 3000, you can add on the solar panel, so you can use it for outdoor monitoring. And this RX 3000 are using either SIM card, Ethernet or Wi-Fi to connect to the cloud system. And then if customer have a third-party sensor, can also be integrated into this RX station, and also you can add on the relay module. Okay, so you can actually ask your customer if they need, if in the future they need to add on a third-party sensor, then they should go for the RX station, RX 3000. But then if they just need a basic parameter, they can go to the RX micro station. Okay, so the available sensor, these are the available HOBOnet wireless sensor. You can measure the soil moisture, the temperature RH, the rain, the light for the power and solar radiation, and the wind speed direction, leaf wetness, water level, and then to calculate the ET. This ET is actually from the HOBOlink software and also the pulse input. So onset will add on more sensor in the future. Okay, so for the HOBOnet wireless sensor, actually we call it as a mode. So this mode are pre-configured and are ready to deploy using the 921 MHz wireless mesh network. So this mesh network is actually the key features for the HOBOnet, because each mode they will communicate directly with each other. So they will find the nearest frequency or the nearest connection to send or to transfer the data. If for another concept, they need to find a certain route, for example, from A to B to C, and then to the data logger and to the cloud. But for HOBOnet, they are using this mesh network technology. So from the mesh network technology will increase the stability, it can widen the measurement range, and also have a better security. Okay, so for one sensor can go up to 450 to 600 meter range line of sight, and then 50 wireless sensor per RX station. It has a rechargeable battery via built-in solar panel, and it's very easy to mount to pole or post because it's very small and very lightweight. And then you can remotely offload the data without going to the field. Can easily connect the modes with the press of button. And then each mode have a data backup of 16 MB. And it can also trigger the alarm notification via SMS or email. Okay, so this is how the modes look like. So when you open it, you can see this is the antenna behind this, and then this is the join network button, and then it has a LCD display where you can see the battery level and also the connectivity, and then this is the battery. And then from the behind, you can see this is the mounting hole for the screw and zip. And you can see this is the hinges, and this is the lock hole, and this is the grounding screw. So this is what the modes looks like. So this is the solar panel where it will recharge the battery. Next, for application. So for indoor, you can propose this HOBOnet system maybe to monitor the warehouse, to the museum, to library, even to the schools or lab with the ISO and also hospital. And for outdoor, you can go for the greenhouse, for the crops research, agriculture, environmental research, and also for river monitoring. Okay, so for HOBOnet key advantage, this is can use to convince your customer. So it has a wide coverage with 921 MHz wireless mesh technology, which will provide a stronger and more reliable signal that can communicate through a vegetation. And it's scalable with up to 50 wireless sensor for a 1 RX station. And then customer can remotely access the data and the current condition using this HOBOlink software. And then the alarm notification will trigger immediate response even by an email or SMS alert. And it's a data backup on both modes and station. And of course, it's an MCMC approved. Now, this is the HOBOlink key features. It's the cloud platform. So through HOBOlink, customer can access the data either with web browser or the mobile device, and then they can verify the station remotely. They can even set up and manage the alarm notification remotely. They do not need to go to the site and do the setting. And then they also can do the schedule automatic delivery of data. So they can schedule maybe every once a month or once a week. And then customer can also configure the dashboard so that they can highlight the most important measurement. And then they can also create the dashboard that can bring multiple systems together in a single view. So this is suitable if the customer have many locations. So they can bring all together and do a comparison in a single view. And then through HOBOlink, customer can also calculate the channel such as the dew point. This one need a temperature and RH, and then accumulated rainfall, and also the ET, evapotranspiration. So for ET, most suitable for customer in irrigation or in the hydrologic research. And then customer can also export the exact data range and sensor that they want. So example, they just want the February data, so they can just extract the exact date range that they want. Okay. So next, I just go through about ET. What is the evapotranspiration? So evapotranspiration is the sum of evaporation and plant transpiration from the Earth's land and ocean surface to the atmosphere. So why is ET important? So this ET actually can do the irrigation management, where they use to determine the crop irrigation needs, and also for the stormwater management, where they can evaluate the stormwater treatment system effectiveness, and also for hydrologic water balance analysis research. So back to the HOBOlink platform, customer can get notified, they can get the alarm either by text or SMS, and then they can even monitor their station with the Google Maps. And then it's a very easy web-based configuration where they can easily configure the sensor, the login rate, the alarm notification, the relay action, and many more. And also they can also customize their own dashboard. So it's a very easy system setup. So basically, you just need this RX station, and then you need the HOBOnet manager as the receiver, and then just press the button to do the connection between the logger and the sensor. And then customer can just log in into the HOBOlink and configure the sensor and all the alarm notification via HOBOlink. They do not need to do it on site. And later on, customer can also view the data and receive the alarm on the computer or the mobile device. Okay, last is what is the HOBOnet benefit against the competitor? So first is the ease of deployment. So HOBOnet is a one-button network connection. So later we'll do a demo on this. And it's a very small size and lightweight for easy mounting. So you can just directly attach to a PVC pipe. Among other competitors, usually for the connection, they will need another node configuration or another software. And then usually it's a very large and heavy, and in terms of installation, they require a substantial mounting structure such as the metal multiple or the tripod. And then in terms of the fast alarm response, HOBOnet, it has the alarm detection in logger, which will trigger immediate response. And while the others, usually they use the web-based alarm that only happens after the data upload. So they do not get the alarm instantly. And then reliable data. So for HOBOnet, each modes and each logger have their own memory. So there's no data loss, and then they can automatically catch up after any break in the wireless or cellular communication. And some competitors, the modes or the node might have no data memory, so there's no way to recover the missed data transmission. Okay. So before we go to the demo session, maybe if any question?
If no question, maybe we can direct with the demo session. Or if anyone, you have any question that you're shy to ask, so you can type in the chat box. So I will take note on that.
Okay, so this is the HOBOnet system. We have this RX 3000. This RX 3000 as the data logger. So for RX 3000, it's actually a standalone data logger. So you need to add on this HOBOnet manager. Okay, so this is the HOBOnet manager. You can just plug in here. You can just plug in here. So this is how it looks like. It's just a normal bot. So nothing special about this. So then this HOBOnet manager will act as the receiver, and then this is the sensor. Okay, this is the sensor HOBOnet modes. So here you can see here the LCD display. So you can see the battery level and the connection, and then this is the battery. So when you want to do the connection, you just press this mode button. So it's very easy. When you press it, they will automatically find the frequency or find the connections. Okay, so it's very robust. See, this is the solar panel to recharge the battery. So it's quite small.
Sensor.
Yeah, quite small. So this is the sensor. This is the temperature and RH sensor. Okay. And then for the RX 3000, there's the LCD display here. So you can see the system here and then the connection. And you can see there's a 4-channel here because we have we have 2 temperature and 1 RH. And then this is the battery level for the data logger. This is the memory level. And then this is the clock system. Okay, so yeah, for the RH3000 it's more flexible. If customer have a third-party sensor, they can just put a 1 relay module here and just attach it. So you want to do demo. Okay, now we are actually here at quad floor. So yeah, so my colleague KY, he will go down to the ground floor just to show you that the connection are stable and can go as far as quad floor.
Hold on, let me. Okay. So KY will move down to the fourth floor, to the ground floor, and you can see the signal. So you will stay. Okay, you stay the signal here. So you can see at different level, the signal is still maintained, right?
Okay, now I'm in 4th floor. I will go down to the 3rd floor to check the signal. Okay, now I'm in 1st floor. The signal is still okay. Okay. Now I'm going down to the 3rd floor. Okay, now I'm in the 3rd floor. The signal is still okay. 2 bar or 3 bar. Okay, I will go down again to the 2nd floor. Okay, now I'm in 2nd floor. Okay, the signal still okay, still with 2 bar. Okay, now I'm going to the 3rd floor. Now in the outside, the signal is around 3 bar. Okay, the signal still okay.
I will proceed with our HOBOlink system. So this is the cloud platform. So you can just go to the HOBOlink, hobolink.com, and this is, you just enter the login ID. In oh. Okay. So for this HOBOlink, you can see. Okay, this is the features. This is the dashboard, and then the devices, the data, the calculated channel, user setting, and support. So first we're going to the device. So the RX devices. So this is our demo unit. So we click in, so you can see actually for this RX 3000, I attached one smart sensor, plug and play. So this is the sensor. And then also this is the HOBOnet wireless, the module 2 wireless sensor. So we have the temperature, we have the RH, and it will automatically calculate the dew point. So this is the serial number. And then you can see this the connectivity. So 3 bar. 3 bar is quite good. And this is the battery for the HOBOnet wireless sensor. And this one is the battery for the RX 3000. Okay. And then this is just a device information. And you can see the graph here. So this is the data that we collected, I think last night from 21st April. Yeah, this is the data that we collected past day. And then you can see past week. Because I already configured on 16 April. So this is the data. And then you can also see the log configuration. And then this is the log configuration for the connection. You can see the cell signal 5 of 5 is very good. And then this is just the configuration of the device. And this is the alarm configuration, alarm logging system. Okay, and then this is the export data. So just now, this is the log. And then this is where you export the data. Okay, so I'll show you the dashboard first. Okay, this is a dashboard that I created. So this one customer can customize themselves. Okay, so we have this temperature, and then we have the RH. In terms of this, what you call this, a chart, and then this is the bar chart, and then this is the dew point, and then this is the one by one. Okay, so this is dashboard. And then in terms of the data, customer can do the data scheduling here. So they can just create a new export and just grab this. This is the name of the export, and then it'll directly export to Excel sheet. And then this is the time frame that they want. Let's say they just want in February, so they can just in April, they can just from 1 April up to today, 21st April, and can just save and export the data. Okay, so how the data looks like. This is the example of the data that has been exported to the Excel sheet. So you can see there's a date here, and this is the temperature, and then this is the RH, this is the battery level, and then this is the dew point measurement. Okay, and this is the battery for the RX 3000. Okay, so back to the HOBOlink. Okay, next we have this calculated channel. So for a customer that involved in, if the customer want to calculate the ET, they can just go to this calculated channel. They can click this reference ET, and yeah. Okay, so they can do the new configuration. So for ET, basically they need the temperature, they need RH, they need solar radiation, wind speed, and wind direction. Then only the software can calculate the ET. Okay, so this is how it looks like, the configuration name, and you can select which of the temperature sensor, and then the humidity, and then you also need the solar radiation, wind speed, and then just put this wind speed sensor height. So you just click save, and it will automatically pull out the ET calculation. Okay, since we do not have this sensor, so I cannot show. Okay. Okay, so this is HOBOlink software. It's very easy, very user friendly. So I think, yeah. Okay. Any question?
Okay, Amila, there's a question regarding the Hobo cloud subscription fees. So how much, or is it free with the purchase of the system or sensor?
So for the cloud subscription, they need to renew every year. So usually it costs around 400 per year.
Okay.
Yeah, 400 ringgit per year. Yes, 400 ringgit Malaysia.
Okay, so no worries, 400 ringgit is not 400 US dollar, okay?
Any other question?
Yeah, so any more input from Amila and Joseph? If not, then I will open the floor for the Q&A.
Yeah, I think you have to explain to customers 400 is actually worth your money, right? Because 400, you get the continuous data they upload into the cloud system, right? So you can access the cloud anywhere, any place. So normally, if your customers is from government, you can do a preventive maintenance, yearly preventive maintenance, and you can charge them this 400 ringgit during the preventive maintenance. So there shouldn't be any problem of you charging the customers 400. I think they will be appreciating that you are coming to serve them, do preventive maintenance yearly, right? So we are open for any questions. If you have any questions, any suggestion, your input, your comment, it will be good as well, so that we can have a section of brainstorm. Seems that everyone is okay. Okay, one more thing. Actually, we have invested a few system of demo units in TMS. From our experience, in order for you to convince your customers, the customer has to experience the system, right? So example like what we show you now, we will actually bring the logos to the customer place and show it to them, the signal, and ask them to run, fourth floor, go down to the ground floor and try the system. So with that experience, they will actually consider the system. They will actually consider the system. So do feel free to reach out to Amila. We can do a free demo with your customers. You can always make appointment with us. We will bring our logos, bring our systems. We will do it at your customer place, right? If the customers is want to experience like more than one day, we can do that as well. Okay, but most of the times, half a day's demo will be sufficient already. However, if the customers is very keen, they want to like experience it for maybe 2 days, example, we are okay to put it at their customer place and then they try it out first, right? So the only way, I believe the very effective way to promote system like this is to let the customer try, because this is a good product, so we don't want to hide it. We want customers to experience it, right? We want to share it to customer. So so what about for our partners outside of Klang Valley, right? I think Penang and Johor is still okay. Maybe Sabah, Sarawak, or maybe Brunei, we are distant away, right? So what we can do is we can do the similar presentation like today. We can show them the Hobo through Zoom, so we can still he or she can still experience it. Another way is also we can share some of our login interface for the software, so they can try it out using the Hobo link. So they will find that the Hobo link is very user friendly. It's not difficult to understand, and you can buy a few minutes, you can know how to handle, the data, right? So I hope we are open up from now. So if you have any customers, try to make an appointment, do a demo, we will work together with you. All right. So that is the best way to promote this product. All right.
Okay, basically, I think the presentation is quite well done. Okay, my input is basically just to remind our partner sales. Actually, just how Joseph did mention, actually, data logger has been applied in almost our life already, almost everywhere. Just now when I talk about application, Mila also mentioned about some of the field for indoor and for outdoor. I just want to remind all our partner, if you face all this, I think because all these partners are coming from different field, they have different customers. If you have customer coming from agriculture and plantation, like vegetable, flower, ornamental flowers, okay, even if you are dealer from Sarawak for pepper plantation, of course, in the whole Malaysia, the palm oil, the rubbles, the pineapple, all these are everywhere. Okay, if you even have customer, you have dealer who cover even golf course, because golf course, the turf is very important to them. So the soil moistures, the rain, and how fast the water going off from the soil is also important. They don't want to have one small rain, then the whole golf course is flooded and they cannot play golf already, because all these are causes. And if you have customer who do research on turtle, coral research, coral research is now because of the weather, environmental changes. Coral, a lot of places the coral are died because of the temperature increase. Okay, we have customers in Taman Laut. If you go to Taman Laut, Malaysia and Putrajaya, actually they are actually using our logger to monitor the water temperature. Okay, and also the turtle, just like I mentioned about turtle, if you have customers who are doing turtle research, for your information, the temperature for the egg hatching, it will also change. What I'm trying to say is the egg, when they hatch, the turtle come up, whether it's a male or female, is actually very much depend on what temperature they are hatching. Okay, then river and lake research, as Amila already mentioned, if you have water level, because for some areas, water level is very important. This is all needed. For indoor, if you have covering warehouse, logistic, temperature, humidity is very important, as well as there are big productions, especially electronic firm, electronic production floor. Temperature, humidity is very important. And I'm sure there are people who are covering the supermarket where the Joseph slide said cold chain. If you have the supermarket, the fridge, then the pharmacies in the hospitals, okay, the places where the government are storing the vaccine, all these people. So all these are actually data logger is almost everywhere already. Just feel free to talk to your customer, and you have some question, just talk to Amila, Joseph, or Eric, or even KY. Anybody can help you. So far, I think that's my input.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Wong. I have sent you the catalogs. Later, we will send you our PowerPoint presentation as well by email. So you have a copy of our presentations, so you can actually show it to your customers, right? So if there is no any more questions or inputs, so we'd like to say thank you for attendance, and then we are happy to have you joining us during this product launching. So look forward to work together with you, and then bring more opportunity to you and your business as well. So I'll pass the time to Eric.
I thought Joseph already did the closing. Okay, so yeah, last but not least, thanks for all the lovely dealers for your time, attention to this product launching HOBOnet. So once I want to mention again, so if you want to arrange a demo, please feel free to arrange with KY and also Amila. No worry, okay? We are very happy to help. If you do want our demo, you want to buy a new set, also okay. We are fully welcome. Okay. Okay. Do we need a group photo? It's okay. It's okay lah. Huh? Okay. Yeah. So thanks for your time. So we hope that we have another session for this webinar again, and we share more knowledge and share more information. Okay. So thank you. See you.